and Cutting Masterclass Part 2. The last bulking and cutting training you will ever need. Wala ka nang hahanapin pa dito. Here's what we're going to cover. The right and wrong way to do bulking and cutting.
Recording in progress.
And the step-by-step guide to doing each for maximum results so you can get your dream body in just a few cycles. So the importance of this training is when you get this right, the ideas, the lessons, especially yung mga mistakes. Pag naiwasan natin sila, baka isang pasada lang ng bulk and cut or cut and bulk, makuha na natin yung satisfaction sa physiques natin. Then pwede na tayong kumain ng mataas na calories, then maintain our sexy body and enjoy life. Pag kasi dinaanan natin yung mga mistakes sa bawat cycle, ang dami natin masasayang na oras. And we're talking about the years. Like yung pinagdaanan ni Sisi. Kaya kung mangyari sa inyo to, so pay close attention, focus tayo sa lesson, at hanapin natin tong mga mistakes para maiwasan natin. So last week, ito yung discuss natin, the mindset, strategy, what, why, itong limiting beliefs and empowering beliefs. At pinarealize natin sa lahat na following through is crucial. At hindi lang isa yung gagawin, hindi lang puro cut, hindi lang puro bulk. At discuss din natin itong stages that we go through when achieving our dream body. Pinunta ko kayo dito sa stage 3. Binigyan ko kayo ng awareness na ito yung kailangan for us to have success, not just in fitness, but in all areas of life. And I hope ito yung naging appealing sa inyo, to stage 3, because until you accept the fact that success, not just in fitness, but in all areas of life, requires playing the long game until matanggap natin na yung process slow talaga siya, forever ka nang maghahanap ng magic at masisilaw sa shiny objects. Last week we discussed the what, why bulking, cutting. Now we're going to discuss the how. Everything you need to know about bulking, cutting on a tactical level will be discussed today. So gagawin ko tong question and answer format para mas madali siyang intindihin. Okay, start tayo. The right and wrong way to do bulking, cutting, or step-by-step guide. And first question, basic muna tayo, what's the purpose of bulking and cutting? So dito tayo sa left muna. So bulking to build muscle mass fast. And next, to build enough muscle mass so that when we cut, we have a lot of muscle to reveal. So women, kung natatakot kayo dito sa term na building muscle mass, pwede natin siyang palitan ng muscle tone or getting results or transforming your body. So underline si fast dito, kasi even though makabuild tayo ng muscle kahit cutting tayo, basta may progressive overload, bulking pa din yung optimal time to do that. Since madami tayong excess calories for recovery and muscle growth. And next, this one, to build enough muscle mass or tone so that when we cut, we have a lot of muscle to reveal or we have a lot of shape to reveal. Diba yung muscle kasi siya yung magpapakita ng shape natin pag natanggal na si body fat. So walang muscle, hindi rin maganda. Very thin, skinny, o diba yung tinatawag na bagsak yung katawan, yun siya. So what bulking is not, hindi siya time to have abs, to prioritize abs, cuts, and muscle definition. Sa cutting yan ginagawa. Next one, what's the purpose of cutting? To lose weight in the form of fat. And to lose the body fat covering the muscles. So muscles reveal themselves. So nilagay natin dito in the form of fat kasi ang goal natin is fat loss. Yun yung main goal, hindi lang weight loss. Kasi pag sinabing weight loss, ibig sabihin, wala tayong paki sa muscle. Basta mag-lose tayo ng weight, okay na. Pag fat loss, yun ang gusto natin tanggalin, yung fat lang. While preserving muscle mass or even building some. Kasi kung weight loss lang ang goal, pwede na natin kalimutan yung pagbubuhat, yung progressive overload, or yung pagkain ng protein. Pero hindi naman maganda kalalabasan ng weight loss kung weight loss lang ang goal. Ayun yung nabanggit natin kanina, yung bagsak na katawan, walang muscle, ba't parang mas bagay yung dati, etc. etc. What cutting is not, hindi yan time to build muscle, hindi yan time to prioritize building muscle and gaining strength. Secondary goals lang sila. Pag pinag-switch natin yung priority ng cut, which is to lose fat, then pag pinalitan natin siya ng building muscle and gaining strength, then hindi na tayo matatapos sa cut. Kasi ang ginagawa natin, pinagko-combine na naman natin yung bulking and cutting. So pag cut, focus tayo sa pag-lose ng weight in form of fat. Kasi itong building muscle, gaining strength na yan, secondary lang sila. So as long as na-fulfill itong primary goal, okay tayo. Next question, who should bulk, cut, or maintain? So bulk, those who are skinny and lean and want to prioritize building muscle alongside fat gain. Cut naman, those who have excess fat to lose, whether obese, overweight, or even skinny fat. Those who want to reveal their abs or simply reduce their waist size sa mga babae. Lahat naman kasi tayo meron ng ab muscles. Ang need na lang natin gawin is alisin yung body fat na nakakover dito sa abs natin. So sa cut yung ginagawa. Maintain naman, those who have enough muscle mass already and happy with what they have. This one, yung usapang happy, yung legit na happy, satisfied na. Hindi yung kunwaring happy at nagra-rationalize lang to delay their cut or to avoid making an effort to do cutting again. For example, yung mga nagra-rationalize, yung mga merong limiting belief regarding cut, sa pag-adjust, sa pagiging consistent, and then sinasabi nila na, hindi, ayoko mag-cut. Satisfied na naman ako sa katawan ko, okay na ako dito. But deep inside, gusto pala niya ng abs, gusto pala niya ng muscle definition, gusto pala niya ng katawan na pwede niya i-post social media. So yun yung example ng rationalization. Iba kasi yung legit na happy ka, hindi, masaya na ako dito, okay na ako. And ma-figure out mo lang yun pag napuntahan mo na lahat ng parts ng fitness. Kunwari, nakuha mo ni abs, tumaba ka na, nag-bulk ka na, nag-muscle ka na, doon ka lang kasi makakapili. Pag meron ka ng lens, doon sa iba't ibang areas na yun. Example ng pera, di ba? Maraming sabi, ayaw mayaman. Hindi mo importante pera. So, pwede niya lang sabihin yun pag nakapunta na siya sa wala siya pera, sa meron siyang pera. Kasi until then, hindi yun. Rationalization lang. Okay? So, yun yung pag-maintain. And next one, sino yung dapat mag-maintain? Those who are purposely doing diet breaks to give themselves a little break, mentally, physically, and to keep their metabolism at a healthy pace. So, hindi naman nag-diet break purposely, or kung wala pang muscle mass, or hindi pa satisfied sa katawan, hindi pa masaya, ibig sabihin nun, wala pa tayong K, piliin sa maintenance. So, dapat mag-focus tayo sa bulk or cut para mabilis yung results natin. Okay? So, again, wala tayong K pa. Next, so you can understand this even better. Optimal phases. Bulking or calorie surplus, yan yung most optimal phase for muscle growth. Yung cutting naman, calorie deficit, yan yung most optimal phase for fat loss. And then yung maintenance, hindi siya optimal for either kasi nasa gitna ka lang. Okay, clear yun? So let's say bulking. Ang goal mo is to palakin si puwet. So ba, itong si arms, si legs, si chest, ito yung best time doon. Kasi laki naman, gusto mo palakin yung arms mo, yung chest mo, shoulders, legs mo, dito rin yung best time. Pag fat loss, anything fat loss related, palitin yung chan, mag-abs, ito yun. Ito yung pinakamabilis ng way. Na maintenance, wala. Nasa gitna ka, it's like chasing two rabbits and catching none. Kaya hindi siya optimal. Wala ka rin magandang metrics na tinitingnan, so you will be left confused and frustrated. Na-discuss natin ito mamaya. For now, pinaka-mabilis na results, papunta dun sa 3 body natin, then you just have to go all the way, either bulking or cutting. Choosing this, madidali lang tayo. Okay, next question. Should I bulk or cut first? Ito yung guidelines na susunod natin. So first, sa category muna tayo. If you're on the skinny side, bulk ka muna. If you're on the fat side, high body fat, then cut muna. If you don't know where you stand, cut muna. So di-discuss ko ito mamaya. Balikan natin yan. On next one, what would best describe your situation? First one, I'm looking and feeling skinny with little tummy. So pag ito yung na-feel mo, pag ito yung iniisip mo, bulk ka muna. On the other hand, I'm feeling confidently okay with my shirt on, but I'm too shy to remove my clothes because of my belly fat. So kung ito yung sinasabi mo, then you should cut first. The next one, ano ba yung goal mo? If you want to gain mass, both muscle and fat and strength, then you should bulk first. If you want to remove your flabs, body fat, and see your abs or reduce your waistline, then you should cut first. Next question, ano bang kinababother mo? What's bothering you more? If you're more bothered with your skinny arms and legs rather than the size of your belly, then you should bulk first. If you're more bothered with the size of your tummy rather than your skinny arms and legs, then you should cut first. Okay, gets yun? So dito, mas bothered siya sa skinny arms niya, sa limbs niya, kaysa sa size ng belly niya. Ibig sabihin, may belly siya pero hindi ganun kalaki. So in this case, bulk siya. Dito naman, mas bothered siya sa tummy, kaysa sa arms niya, sa legs niya. So in this case, cut yung gagawin niya una. Next one, ano yung willing ka i-give up muna? Kasi when choosing between bulk or cut, dapat may ma-compromise muna. So dito tayo sa bulk. If you're willing to give up the abs or small waist para sa more size, strength, and a tighter and better fit of your clothes, then you should bulk first. If you're willing to give up the size of your arms, chest, legs, butt, and other body parts para sa maliit na bewang or sa abs, or sa muscle definition, muscle tone, and beach photos, then una mong gawin is mag-cut ka muna. Kung sabi kasi natin sa cut, diba? Liliit talaga tayo. Mag-shrink talaga yung size natin. So if you're gonna cut, you have to accept this drawbacks, temporary drawbacks. Ito, balikan natin ito. If you don't know where you stand, cut ka muna. So why I recommend cutting first if you're not sure. First one, if you're not sure, there's a high chance na nasa skinny fat category ka. Hence, the reason for your confusion. So ano ba yung skinny fat? Skinny fat are those people na payat sila tignan with clothes on, pero malaki na yung belly fat nila. Nahiya si magubad, nahiya sa pakita ng tiyan. Kaya tinatawag na skinny fat. So examples ng skinny fat sa lalaki. As you can see, hindi mo masasabi kung mataba ba sila or payat ba sila. Nasa gitna. Sa babae naman. So ganyan. Thin arms, big waist, soft thighs. So a narrow frame, hindi mo masabing malaking size niya, mataba siya, especially pag may suot siyang damit. But she has a lot of body fat. So yan yung skinny fat example sa women. So next one, why I recommend cutting first kung andito ka sa skinny fat category is because skinny fat people are usually beginners. And since beginners are sensitive to training stimulus, they can simultaneously build muscle and lose fat at a much higher chance. Ang tawag dito is yung body recomposition or recomp. Yan yung process ng pag-build ng muscle and pag-lose fat ng sabay. I'll-discuss natin ito later on. Next one, since beginners don't have the patience yet to endure bulking for so long, na ang nakikita lang nila ay tumataba sila, Diba? Mas mataas tendency nun na ma-demotivate sila at mag-quit. So kaya cutting ang suggested ko because fat loss is a much quicker process than muscle growth. Kaya for beginners, it's more motivating to see quicker wins para mas maging consistent sila at mas makabuild ng good habits. And lastly, kaya I don't recommend bulking sa skinny fat people. It's because bulking favors leaner individuals in terms of time, motivation, and effort. If you do your cut first at naabot mo yung very lean condition before you do bulking, you seeing size gains while maintaining your abs, nakaka-motivate yun. As opposed to nag-bulk ka na mataas yung body fat mo, sabihin mo lang, ay, tumataba ako. Cut na lang ako ulit. So another point to prove that bulking favors leaner individuals, kasi if you get very lean first before you do bulking, mas ma-maximize mo yung phase ng bulking dahil makakatagal ka. Kasi nag-start ka sa low body fat. Kaya malaki yung leeway mo to add additional body fat na inevitable sa bulking. So magagawa mo yung bulking ng matagal. In short, ma-maximize mo siya. Right? And lastly, bulking at a very lean condition after mo ma-reach yung end ng bulk mo, hindi pa ganun kataas si body fat. So pag nag-cut ka, mas madali. Kasi hindi ka man nag-accumulate ng sobrang taas sa body fat. Versus pag nag-bulk ka, nang mataas yung body fat mo to begin with, tapos tumaas pa siya lalo, then you will have a much harder time losing weight later on. So those are some reasons why doing a cut first before bulk, kung di ka sure, is more advantageous. Okay, gets yun guys? And girls? Next question tayo. How to do bulking and cutting. As a bulking, do it very slowly. Ay slowly niyan, add 100 to 200 calories to your maintenance. Or, aim for a weight gain of 0.5% per week or between 1.5% to 2% per month. So kung 150 pounds ka, aim for a 2.25 pound or 2.5 pounds na gain per month. Ganyan kabagal dapat and that's the most optimal way. Hey coach, bakit ganyan kabagal? Balik tayo dito. As we discussed in lesson number 3, building muscle is a very slow process. Ito yung chart na pinakita natin doon. Sabi natin dyan, we can assume na all of us are beginners. So we can only produce or gain a maximum of 2 pounds sa lalaki and 1 pound sa babae per month. So ganyan lang siya kabagal. So para mag-gets nyo, ito siya. So 1 pound of muscle is equal to 2.5 or 2.8 additional calories. So stick tayo sa 2.5 to make it simpler. So if we will do the math, it's like this. Sundan lang natin . So let's say, lalaki tayo. Compute size sa lalaki. Let's say, ang maximum muscle gain na pwedeng mangyari in a month is 2 pounds. So 2 pounds equal to 5,000 calories. Paano ko kinuha yung 5,000? Times 2 ko lang itong 2.5. Kasi 1 pound of muscle, 2.5. So times 2, 5,000. So gagawin natin kayo 5,000, divide natin siya sa 30 days. 30 days kasi 1 month is 30 days. And we can gain 2 pounds of muscle. So pag divide natin ng 5,000 to 30 days, ito yung lalabas, 166 calories per day. So for us to gain 2 pounds of muscle in 1 month, ito yung magiging daily calories natin. Maintenance calories plus 166 calories. Yan yung optimal lean bulking daily calories natin. So yan lang yun, 166 calories extra per day ang need natin to build 2 pounds of muscle in 1 month. Hindi natin pwede gawin and yung mindset ko dati, parang iniisip ko dati, hindi, kain ako ng mga excess 2,000 calories in 1 week or in 1 day. Then ina-expect ko nun, mapunta lahat yun sa muscle gain. So mali talaga yun. Mali yung uninformed pa talaga ako nun. Kala ko lahat ng excess calories, basta sipagan ko sa gym, mapupunta lahat sa muscle gain. Diba? Hindi siya tama. Kasi based nga dito sa chart, our body can only build 1 pound to 2 pounds of muscle per month. So mangyayari doon, if we eat 5,000 calories extra in 1 week or 2 weeks, lahat ng sobra sa 166 calories, mapupunta lang sila sa fat storage. Then ito lang yung mapupunta sa muscle gain. Clear yun? I guess ba yun? Also, itong 166 extra calories per day, hindi pa guaranteed yan na lahat sila mapupunta sa muscles. Madaming factors ang pwede i-consider. Madaming factors ang nakaka-affect sa muscle growth. Pwedeng 100 calories nga lang makuha natin. Let's say, yung week na yun, hindi tayo masyadong nag-apply ng progressive overload. Hindi tayo nakapag-rest ng maayos. Hindi tayo nakatulog ng maayos. Or sobrang baba ng calories natin. Yung mga ganun. So, pwedeng hindi 166 yung mapunta sa muscle gain. Pwedeng 50 lang, pwedeng 100 lang. So, ganun siya. Hindi siya guaranteed. So, that's the reason why bulking should be done slowly. Okay? Gets yun, guys? Kaya huwag madaliin. Dito naman tayo sa cut. How to do cutting. do it normally or aggressively. So, anong ibig sabihin ko dyan? Aim for 0.7%, women, 1%, loss, 1% for men, weight loss of your total body weight per week. So, pwede natin stretch yung numbers na yan if you're really on the overweight side, obese side. Kung mataas talaga yung body fat mo. Pwedeng ito, 1.2, ito pwedeng 0.9. Okay na yun. Any more than that, let's say maabot ka na ng 2% a week, mataas na yung risk ng muscle loss at yung negative effects ng metabolic adaptation. So maganda mag-stick tayo dito sa number na to or any more than this, slightly above than this. For example, if you're weighing 200 pounds and has a high body fat percentage, you could aim for a 1.4 to 2 pound loss per week. Kasi yan yung 0.7% sa 1%. Ang translation niyan, bawas lang tayo ng 700 to 1,000 calories sa maintenance natin or sa TDEE natin. Sa mga leaner individuals naman, example, if you're weighing 140 pounds, you could aim for a 1 pound to 1.4 pound loss per week. So translation sa calories, bawasan lang natin ng 500 to 700. So in short, the higher your body fat is, the faster you can lose weight safely and vice versa. Basta tandaan lang natin ito, 0.7%, 1%. Okay? So to understand this more clearly, ganito naman yung math sa cutting. So 1 pound of fat has 3,500 calories. May muscle, 2,500 lang. So if you want to lose 1 pound of fat a week, for example, gagawin natin, divide lang natin si 3,500 sa 7. Kasi 7, kaya 7 kasi 1 week is 7 days. So 3,500 divided by 7, 500 calories. Okay, gets? So deficit of 500 will allow us to lose 1 pound of fat in a week. So kung yung 1% mo, 1 pound lang, then ito yung i-deduct mo. Pero kung 2 pounds, times 2 mo to. 1,000 calories yung ibabawas mo sa maintenance mo. Okay, so yan, maintenance calories minus 500. Yan yung daily cutting calories mo. Again, if 1 pound yung ilulose mo. Kung hindi 1 pound, kung yung 1% mo is 3 pounds, then adjust mo lang yung number na to. Okay, gets yun guys? Coach, tama naman yung competition ko pero ang laki ng weight loss ko the first week. Nawalan ako ng 5 pounds agad. Lagpas sa 1%. Even lagpas sa 2%. Taas ako pa yung calories ko. So pwedeng oo, pwedeng hindi. Pwedeng wait muna natin yung second, third week. Okay lang to. Kasi itong initial period na to, rapid weight loss is perfectly normal. The weight you lose during this time is commonly called water weight. So hindi natin kailangan matakot. Over the next few weeks, mag-stabilize din yung rate of weight loss natin. And if hindi, let's say next week 5 pounds ulit, doon tayo mag-adjust. Coach, kung sa bulking pwede mabagal, why not do it slowly sa cutting din? Hindi naman ako nagmamadali. Ang reasons ko, bakit hindi ko nare-recommend yung mabagal na cutting? First one, so you can be done with your cutting ASAP and you can transition to bulking much sooner. Remember, as a beginner, wala ka pang muscle mass masyado. Di ba? Nasa ugly duckling phase ka pa. So, hindi maganda tumambay sa cutting phase. That is not the optimal time to build muscle. Kung may tatambin tayo sa bulking, pag nakatambay ka sa cutting, hindi ka rin nag-build ng muscle. Hindi mo na-maximize. In short, hindi ka rin nakakaalis agad sa ugly duckling phase. Next, pag ginawa natin yung slow cutting, from the term itself na slow, that means mabagal yung cutting natin at matagal pa tayong matatapos. Kung matagal pa matatapos sa cutting, then that means matagal pa natin i-endure yung gutom stage at matagal pa tayong tatambay sa not building muscle optimally stage. So if that's okay with you, then feel free to do slow cutting if you want. Personally, I prefer ending the cut as fast as I could para makapag-transition ako sa high calories, sa maintenance or sa bulking. Mas masarap mabuhay kung mataas yung calories na kinakain. At mas maganda rin yung rate of progress in terms of muscle growth. Dami rin energy. Kapag mas maraming energy, mas marami tayong nagagawa, mas masaya tayo. But that's me. Next question. How long the bulking cut? Short answer, as soon as you're done. Long answer, it depends. Ang pinaka-okay dito is mag-set tayo ng timeline. For example, dito tayo sa bulking. 4 months minimum, pero ideally 6 months and above. With mini cuts in between. Bakit 6 months? Because muscle growth is a slow process. Hindi siya pwedeng madaliin. Going back to this chart, we can only build a maximum of 1 pound to 2 pounds of muscle per month. And that's considering na perfect pa yung execution natin, ay yung lahat, yung sleep natin, yung pagkain natin, yung protein natin, which rarely happens. So possibility ng muscle growth natin, kung conservative tayo, is just siguro 0.5 pound or 1 pound per month. Then the rest, fat gain na siya. So kung gagawin natin si bulking, like 1 to 2 months lang, then wala pa tayong muscle na nabibuild masyado nun. Diba? Sayang. For example, kung gusto mo mabilis na bulking, ito, makikita mo yung downside ng ganun, ng parang yo-yo lang siya. So, let's say, nag-bulk ka for 1 month. Nag-gain ka ng 2 pounds. Tapos yung 1 pound of muscle mo, as we discussed, di ba, hindi naman perfect lagi execution natin. So, nag-gain ka lang ng 1 pound of muscle and 1 pound of fat. So, half-half sila. And then, nag-cut ka ulit for 1 month. So, yung cut mo, nag-lose ka ng 3 pounds. 2 pounds doon from fat and 1 pound doon from muscle. Di ba? Kasi nature lagi ng cutting, yung mag-lose. May risk talaga na mag-lose tayo ng muscle. So, ang net gain mo is 0. Diba? Yung nag-gain mo na 1 pound dito sa bulk mo for 1 month, na-lose mo rin siya sa cut mo ng 1 month. So, pag net result may 0, sayang yung oras, sayang yung effort. So, this is called yo-yo dieting. Contrast that dito sa pag-bulk ng mas matagal. So, example, nag-lean bulk ka for 6 months. Ba, in-aim mo talaga na mag-gain ng 2 pounds per month. So, sumobra ka minsan, may mga months ka na lagpas ka 2 pounds. Kaya 14 pounds yung na-gain mo. So, sa 14 pounds na yan, meron kang 9 pounds of muscle gain and 5 pounds of fat gain. Kasi hindi naman tayo pwedeng mag-gain ng pure muscle lang. So, yun yung ratio mo. Kasi ginalingan mo talaga eh. So, after 6 months of bulking, nag-decide ka mag-cut for 3 months. Ba, aggressive ka. So, nag-lose ka ng 14 pounds. So, yung ginain mo sa bulking, na-lose mo rin dito sa cutting. Pero nangyari, dito, 11 pounds of fat loss and 3 pounds of muscle loss. So, ang net result mo, net gain mo, net loss mo, ayan, 6 pounds of muscle gain, 6 pounds of fat loss. Diba? Ang laking progress nito. Kumpara mo dito. At ito, sobrang laki ng results niyan. Sa itsura, in terms of look, in terms of condition. So, ganito yung magiging itsura mo even at the same body weight. So, si Kevin, ganyan nangyari sa kanya. Same body weight at 68 kilograms. Pero tingnan mo yung difference ng katawan niya. So, that's the power of doing a proper bulking and cutting cycle. At hindi yung mabilisan lang. So, si Kevin, nag-cut siya, nag-bulk siya. O, pwede rin kabila, mag-bulk ka muna, tapos mag-cut ka. Pero dapat, bigyan mo ng ample time si bulking phase. Kasi doing it for a month or 2, hindi mo siya mag-maximize. Okay yun? O, dito naman tayo. Ano naman yung mini-cuts in between? So, ito medyo requiring a bit of explanation, pero ang gist lang naman ito, of course, in the real world, hindi naman natin mag-perfect yung bulking phase na ang mabibuild lang natin is pure muscle. So, meron talagang kasamang fat gain dyan. So, itong mini-cut is just a short burst of cutting phase, ang blitz. Ang duration is 4 to 6 weeks. Ang goal nito is to not get shredded. Hindi nito goal yung mapunta ka sa mag-photoshoot ka or mapunta ka sa shredded condition or lumabang ka sa stage. Hindi yun yung goal. The goal is to just trim the excess fat para makatuloy tayo ng mas matagal sa bulking. Ayan, ganyan siya. Difference ng mini-cut sa normal cut. Pareha silang 1-year timeline. So, ang main difference nila is yung end goal. So, sa mini-cut, ang end goal is to continue bulking. Alisin lang yung excess fat kasi bulking favors lean individuals. So, kung titignan mo, ayan, bulk for 4 months, nag-gain siya ng muscle, tapos nag-accumulate din siya ng fat. Sabi niya, shit, tumataba ako nagka-catch up yung fat Mini-cut nga ako for 1 month para pababain ko yung body fat. And then, napababa niya yung body fat, nakatodo ulit siya sa bulking. Kasi kung di niya pinababa yung body fat niya, mahirap pa siya mag-bulk kasi isipin niya, shit, tumataba na ako lalo. So, yun yung goal. Mini-cut so that makakontinue pa ng bulk. So, sa kabilang side naman, yung normal cut, ang end goal is tapusin na yung cut. Mag-bulk na ng tuloy-tuloy. Diba? Ang goal nito is magpa-photoshoot na, tapusin na yung cut, rumampa na sa beach, tapos mag-bulk na. So yan, bulk siya 6 months and then ito na yung pinaghandaan niyang Kaizen Challenge. Okay guys? Clear ba to? So basta ang difference is yung end goal. Mini-cut, hindi ka mag-mini-cut na tatapusin mo na yung cut. Mag-mini-cut ka kasi gusto mo pa mag-bulking. Normal cut, yun na yun. Tatapusin mo na yung cut. Okay? So calories ng mini-cut. Let's say nagba-bulking ka, tapos napansin mo ngayon, tumataba na ako, gusto mo mag-mini-cut. Pwede pala yan. So yun lang, gagawin mo, para makuha mo yung calories mo, mag-compute ka and adjust to lose at 0.7% or 1%. Itong 0.7, women, 1% for men. Tapos gagawin mo siya 4 to 6 weeks. Ideally, 1 month. Be aggressive sa pag-cut ng 1 month para makatuloy ka ulit ng bulking ng ilang months. Okay? So next tayo, how long to do a cut? Ideally, 2 to 6 months. With refeeds and diet breaks in between. But it will depend on the starting point. Pwedeng pag obese tayo, mataas yung body fat, let's say 100 pounds to lose. Of course, matagal yung cut nila. Example natin, si Kaizen student, si DM. Marami siyang almost 100 pounds na yung tinatanggal niya. So, hindi natin pwede sabihin na 2 months mo lang kunin yan. Example, another Kaizen student, si Arthur. So here, 1 year siya nag-cut. Pero kita mo naman yung result. Kapag mataas pa yung body fat natin, like itong si Arthur dati, of course, hindi mo pwede compress yung cutting time ng 2 months lang, 3 months lang. So sa case na ganito, if we're carrying a lot of body fat, yung first cut natin, ang susundin natin na rule dyan is this. Cut until you're done. Whether you do it 6 months, 8 months, 1 year, it's up to you. Pero ideally, you do it as fast as you can. Coach, paano man lang pag done na? Pag na-reach mo na yung certain body fat range na good for bulking. That's around 10 to 12% for men. So discuss ko to next. So important note on setting targets and timeline. If your timeline target is reached and you're still not satisfied, no problem. Tuloy mo lang yung cutting mo, yung bulking mo. Let's say ang goal mo is to cut for 3 months, pero nakita mo, ay, wala pa yung abs sa goal ko. Wala pa ako sa 10% na range. Then no problem. You can just extend your cut for a few more weeks. Pwede ka rin mag-diet break before mag-cutting ulit. So okay lang yun. Kasi usually, pag first-timers tayo sa cut or bulk, tansyahan pa lang yan. Yung estimate natin, yung kala natin, 70 kg o 65 kg, okay na, labas na yung abs ko. Pero pagdating natin doon, wala pa pala. Okay lang yun. Tuloy lang natin. O pwede naman napaaga rin, di ba? Kala natin 65 kg yung kailangan natin, pero 67. Okay na pala yun. Okay? So next question tayo. What is the optimal body fat range for bulking and cutting? Iba-iba yan, pero ako as your coach, ito yung advice ko. 6% increments. So ito yung sa suggestion ko for men. 10% to 16%, 11%, 17%, 12% to 18%. So women naman, ganyan. Kasi mga babae, mas mataas talaga yung body fat nila. So parang ito yung katumbas nila. Yung 10% sa lalaki, 18% sa kanila. So same pa rin, 6% increment. Ibig sabihin nito, let's say sa men, naabot mo yung 10%, pwede ka na mag-bulk. And then mag-bulk ka hanggang maabot mo yung 16%. Pag naabot mo yung 16%, cut ka ulit, then back and forth lang. Same sa babae. Pag naabot mo yung 18%, 19, 20, pwede ka nang pumunta sa bulking phase. Pag nag-bulk ka, pag naabot mo na itong 24, 25, 26, ulit lang, cut ulit. Ayun lang, pina-improve lang natin yung muscle mass natin, muscle tone natin as you go through each cycle. Okay yun? Gets yun? Ayan. Coach, paano namin malaman yung body fat? Diba? Sabi mo, huwag na alamin. So yan, hindi mo na kailangan alamin kasi ako hindi ko naman nalaman na yung body fat ko. Nag-base lang ako sa photos, sa mirror. So kung cutting ka, dito tayo sa men, ang goal mo is to get around here. O kung trip mo, ito. Basta dito, sa very lean condition. Pag nabot mo to, bulk ka until dito. Then just repeat. Same with women. Pwede kang pumunta dito, sa gitna nito, and then bulk up to here. And just repeat the cycle. Yan, para mas magets natin. Yan, cut until 12%, 10 to 12% sa speed na kaya mo, but ideally as fast as you can. Then bulk until 18% dito sa gitna nito, pero kunin mo tong bulking ng 6 months. Why? Again, because muscle growth is a slow process. Hindi natin siya pwede madaliin or else most of our gains will be of fat. Ayaw naman natin yun. Then, once you reach 18%, transition to cut again until mapunta ka ulit dito. Ideally, 2 to 4 months. Then just repeat the cycle. As we discussed last lesson, doing multiple cycles of bulking and cutting and not just one. So question, bakit nga ulit until 18% lang? Bakit hanggang dito lang? Bakit di ko sinasabi mag-bulk ka hanggang 35%? Sige nga, type in the chat. Bakit hanggang 18% lang? And the answer for that is because bulking favors leaner individuals in terms of motivation, time, and effort. Hindi nakakagana mag-bulk kung mataas na yung body fat. In terms of effort at time, pag nag-bulk tayo ng mataas na yung body fat natin, mas lalong tataas yung body fat. And then, mahihirapan tayong mag-cut later on kasi ang dami nating kailangan tanggalin ng body fat. Okay? Gets? Oops. So sa cutting naman, bakit dito lang yung suggested ni coach? O kaya dito, sa gitna. Paano coach kung gusto ko dito talaga? Of course, you can do this as well. Pero mahirap na to. Grabe na to. Competition levels. Kalaban mo dyan yung sobrang baba talaga ng leptin. Yung lumalaban na talaga siya for survival. Kapag umabot ka dito sa range na to, hindi na siya healthy in a sense. Kasi sobrang down talaga energy mo, lethargy talaga. Magka-function ka lang dito pag marami kang pre-workouts and caffeine, stimulants. At threaten na si survival dito. Sinasabi ng katawan mo, oy, matetegi ka na, huwag ka nang gumalaw, mag-conserve ka ng energy. Tapos yung gutom dito, sobrang taas na rin. Hindi siya pang lifestyle, hindi siya sustainable. So kapag dumating ka dito sa sa stage na to, sobrang baba ng body fat, yung risk ng muscle loss, mataas na talaga. Kasi nagagamit na yung muscles natin for energy. Kaya sinasuggest natin na dito lang. Kung gusto mo lean condition, okay naman to sa pictures, okay naman pang araw-araw, pang dagat, dito lang. Kasi dito, hindi pa naman ganun kataas yung risk ng muscle loss and hindi pa ganun kalala yung negative effects ng low leptin level. Okay? Pero of course, if you want to go here, okay lang yun. Yun lang yung mga pwede mong ma-experience. Kasi ako nabot ko naman yung dito pag nag-photoshoot ako. And it's challenging, very challenging. Dito naman tayo sa women. So we could just apply the same thing yung na-discuss natin sa men. Cut until 18% here sa speed na kaya mo, but ideally as fast as you can. Bakit as fast as you can? Kasi ayaw natin tambayan si cutting. Mas maganda tambayan si bulking. Then, pag na-reach natin 18%, bulk tayo until 24 here. Pero kunin mo ng bulking ng 6 months. Bakit? Again, muscle growth, muscle toning is a slow process. Hindi natin siya pwede madaliin or else most of our gains will be of fat. Then once na-reach natin ng 24%, transition lang tayo sa cutting ulit, punta tayo sa 18%. And this time, yung 18% mo ng unang cut mo versus sa pangalawang cut mo, sobrang iba na yung itsura mo nito. Wala ka na sa ugly ducking phase. Kasi you're carrying more muscle mass. Okay? Then just repeat the cycle. Okay, gets yun? So bakit nga ulit until 24 lang? Bakit hindi ko sinadjust na 30 to 36%? Kasi bulking favors leaner individuals. Kasi pag umabot tayo dito, 30%, 36%, mahirapan tayo mag-cut later on. That's why we do our best to mitigate fat gain during bulk. Para hindi tayo mahirapan mag-cut. Okay, clear yun, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, next question tayo. Kailan ko makikita yung abs ko? So sa bulking, generally you won't dahil bulking is both gaining fat and muscle. So magkakaroon talaga tayo ng fat gain. Kasama talaga siya. Not unless, of course, nag-start ka ng bulking sa sobrang baba ng body fat mo. Let's say nag-bulk ka dito. Pag nag-bulk ka, from this condition, makapag-bulk ka ng matagal. Na hindi na masyadong nabubura si abs. Basta dahan-dahan lang yung bulking phase. Kaya itong photo na to. Let's say nag-bulk ka ng 3% ka. Diba, kahit mag-accumulate ka ng sobrang daming fat, kahit 2%, 3%, ito pa rin, ito yung pagdadaanan mo. Diba, may abs ka pa rin. Versus when you bulk, dito, rin, bulk ka 15%. Eh, pag nag-add ka ng ilang percent ng body fat, ganito na agad, burado na siya agad. Right? So that's the mistake people make, yung mga nagbabulk na maaga. Discuss natin yan later on. So sa cutting naman, kailan mo makita abs mo? First, depends on your genetics. So sa laki, some have them at 16%, some need to go below 12%. Sa babae naman, some have them at 24%, some at 20%, yung iba kailangan 18% and below. So yan yung example sa site ng ripbody.com. Ito yung 15 to 17%. So yung iba, kita na yung abs, yung iba hindi. Ito naman yung 12 to 14%. Yung iba, maganda na yung abs, yung iba, malabo pa. So iba-iba talaga. It depends sa genetics. O sa babae naman, ito yung 24%. Yung iba, kita na yung abs, yung iba, wala pa. O yung isa naman, ito yung 20%. Di ba? Yung isa, medyo kita yung abs, yung isa, hindi. So again, it depends sa genetics. Pero like we discussed sa previous lessons, it's not important naman to know your body fat percentage. Kasi kung goal mo ang abs or tiny waist, ang gagawin mo lang naman is to lose more weight. Hindi natin kailangan malaman yung body fat natin. Kahit kurot-kurot lang, okay na yun. Kasi diba, kung gaano kalaki yung nakukurot natin, yun pa yung kailangan natin alisin para lumawas yung abs na goal natin. Ayan, another example, si Meg Squats sa YouTube. Kaya nag-cut siya from 23% to 19%. Yan lang, pinakita ko so you could get an idea sa itsura ng mga nagka-cut na babae. Okay, next question. Ito magandang tanong. What should I expect during bulking and cutting phases? So sa bulking, obviously you will gain more body fat. It's inevitable. Yan yung nature ng bulking. The only thing we can do is minimize the fat gain by going slow. So gaano kabagal? Ito ulit. By eating 166 calorie surplus per day or yung 0.5% per week na weight gain. Next, since mag-gain tayo ng body fat, habang nagpo-progressive overload tayo sa gym, yung clothes natin, they will fit tighter. Makakuha tayo ng compliments na nagbubunga na yung gym efforts natin. Sabihan tayo, oh, nag-gym ka ba? Halata na. Next, more strength and recovery. Able to handle more training volume, can extend mesocycle because the overreaching phase can be delayed. Kasi mas nakaka-recover tayo, mas mabilis yung recovery natin. And lastly, progressive overload will be much easier. Sa bulking, wala masyadong downsides. Bukod sa additional fat gain lang. Mabura si abs. Pero other than that, lahat maganda na. Performance and recovery-wise. Masarap din sa feeling. So sa cutting naman, ano yung i-expect natin? Ito medyo alarming to sa iba. Losing size or shrinking in size. Like going from large to medium, medium to small sa damit nila. So it's normal and it doesn't mean we're losing muscle. But dito marami natatakot, especially mga lalaki. Even babae, pag nawala na yung pot nila, lumilit na daw yung boobs nila. Sa lalaki, lumilit na daw yung arms nila. So yun, natatakot sila. Akala nila, nawala na sila ng muscle. And again, hindi yun. Hindi laging ganun. Losing size during cut is normal. It simply means nawawalan tayo ng fat, body fat sa mga parts natin. Sa chest, arms, shoulders, butt, legs. Kasi hindi naman yan, yung mga body parts na yan, hindi naman lahat yan pure muscle and bone. Marami na cover na fat yan. So pag nagka-cut tayo, matatanggal sila and mag-shrink talaga yung size. So malay ng karamihan, na-stuck sila sa cutting dahil ito yung mindset nila. So sabi nila, oh, lumilit ako, nawala yung puwet ko, nawala yung ganito ko, yung arms ko, yung chest ko, nawala yung muscle ko, tigil ko na itong cut. Ayun, 3 years na, yo-yo dieting pa rin sila, hindi sila nagkaroon ng abs kahit yun naman yung goal nila because of their fear of losing muscle. And they're choosing to not cut all the way. Diba? Ito na naman, pinagsasabay na naman nila yung bulking sa cutting. Tapos nakalimutan nila na ang primary goal ng cutting is to lose weight in a form of fat. So yun yung mistake nila. And since hindi sila nagka-cut all the way until dun sa leanest condition nila, like 10 to 12% for men, ang nangyari, hindi rin sila makatodo sa bulking. Dahil madami pa silang body fat to begin with. So hindi rin sila nakabuild ng madaming muscle mass. So yun nga, in short, yo-yo dieting sila. Kung yo-yo dieting lang tayo, madami tayo ng sayang na time and effort. Next one, expectation sa cutting phase. Losing strength or progressive overload won't be as easy. Pwedeng due to muscle loss or yung mechanical disadvantage of losing weight na diniscuss natin last training. Now, what's acceptable in a strength loss? Yan, na-discuss na natin to last training natin. Yan, kung nawawalan tayo ng konti lang, ilang reps lang, o kung nag-maintain lang tayo, okay lang yan. Kasi, again, primary goal ng cutting, weight loss in the form of fat. Yung gaining strength, yung muscle na yan, secondary lang sila. So, as long as nangyayari itong una, primary, then goods tayo. Next one, expectation sa cutting, muscle loss. Normal siya. Nature siya ng cutting, especially pag mababa na yung body fat natin. So that's 10% for men and 18% for women. Nasa nature ng cutting yung muscle loss na yan, but doesn't mean na mauubos talaga yung muscles natin. If we're doing everything right, progressive overload tayo, kumakain tayo ng protein, kung mawalan man tayo ng muscles, sobrang konti lang noon, and it will just go back very fast again pag nag-introduce na ulit tayo ng calories. After natin mag-cut or pag nag-start na tayo mag-bulking or even at maintenance. So kung bababa tayo ng 10% or below sa lalaki, 18% for women, expect natin na pwedeng magkaroon ng muscle loss. Hindi naman lagi, pero have that awareness and it's nothing to worry about. Next one, expectation sa cutting, less optimal recovery. Kasi we're eating fewer calories. Walang mapaggawanan yung katawan natin ng tools to rebuild, to recover, to add new muscle tissue. This means that less training volume kaya natin i-handle. Yung overreaching phase natin nangyayari much sooner. Tapos napapaaga yung deload natin. So this is the reason bakit you as a beginner, hindi magandang tumambay sa cutting phase. Kasi daming downsides. So, next one, low leptin level symptoms. Lethargy, high hunger, mood fluctuations. So may init na yung ulo natin. And the last one, sa expectation sa cutting, ito yung pinaka nag-cripple sa mga cutting phase. Getting negative comments from people. Of course, pag nagka tayo, mawalan din tayo ng fat sa face natin. Kasi merong fat yan eh. Merong fat sa mukha. So makatanggal tayo ng comments like, hindi na bagay. Sobra na, tigilan mo na. Mukha kami sakit. Mas bagay yung dati. Na-experience yun na now, right? At ang nakakatawa, itong lahat ng to, yung pagod, yung gutom, yung hirap, kaya nating i-endure for so long. Pero pagdating dito sa dulo, doon tayo pinanghihina ng loob. Sad to say, but it just shows how many of us are imprisoned sa opinions ng iba sa sarili natin. Kung ikaw yan, I'm not here to judge you, pero as your coach, I'm just saying na you have to work on that. Kung cut, normal na masabihin namang ganito kasi people have been seeing you for years sa mataas na body fat percentage. Kahit ikaw maninibago. At hindi ibig sabihin nun, hindi talaga bagay sa'yo. Upo ka, pangit ka na. Ang ibig sabihin lang nun, hindi lang tayo sanay, even ikaw. It takes a while to get used to your new look again, and most likely, you will appreciate it pag tumambay ka na dyan. What people don't realize is etong mga mga comments na to only mean one thing. Ibig sabihin yan, your diet is going well and that you're doing everything right. Kasi nawawalan ka ng weight, nawawalan ka ng fat. Ibig sabihin, papunta ka na sa abs mo, sa small waist na gusto mo. Ibig sabihin nun, papunta ka na sa goal mo pag nakakuha ka na ng ganyang comments. Kasi may changes sila na nakikita. Pag tumigil ka after mo ma-receive to, sayang naman. Right? Kakain ka na naman, papataba ka na naman, ipiplease mo na naman sila, then later on, sasabihin mo, sana tinuloy ko na yung cut ko, malapit na ako. So pag tumigil ka, dadaan ka na naman sa cutting, tapos pagdadaanan mo na naman ulit So ako rin man, ganyan ako dati. Tuman ako dyan, pag pumeta ko, dami nagre-react, tigilan ko na raw. Dahil yung mom ko, lalo sa bahay. Kasi ako mismo naninibago. Hindi pa ako sanay. Pero pag ilang weeks na ako sa very low body fat na range, then pag tinignan ko yung mga pictures ko ng mataas pa yung body fat ko, nakatawa na lang ako. Iniisip ko nun, talaga ba? Parang, iniisip ko dati, mas okay to sa akin. Mas okay yung, may laman-laman ako. Parang mas gusto ko yung ngayon. Point lang dyan, hindi lang tayo sanay. Kasi ang tagal natin nakatambay dun sa kabilang side, sa high body fat na itsura natin. So pagtagal, tambay mo muna ilang months, masasanay ka rin. Okay? So ito yung mga i-expect natin sa bulk and cut. Knowing them at least, pag na-experience natin sila, then that means nasa tamang landas tayo and we don't have to worry about anything. My next question, how to transition from bulking to cutting or vice versa? It's not a requirement, but it's a good idea to have a maintenance phase first. 2 to 4 weeks ideally. Ang benefit nitong maintenance phase are this. After natin mag-cut, mataas yung cravings, mataas yung gutom, kasi mababa yung leptin level natin. So kung magbabulk tayo agad, without the maintenance phase, ang mangyayari, mataas yung tendency natin mag-overeat dahil itong low leptin level, yun yung kalaban natin. Pwede tayo mag-binge, mag-overeat. Tapos i-rationalize natin na hindi, bulking na naman ako eh. And then dyan, magsisimula yung disaster. Whereas, if we keep the mindset of cutting and stay sa maintenance phase muna for 2 to 4 weeks, diet break, bukod sa mabibuild natin yung habit na kumain ng mas madami, unti-unti rin natin napapataas yung leptin. Therefore, our hunger levels will go down. So pag nag-bulking na tayo, mas manageable na siya. Hindi na tayo prone to binging every day for weeks. Parang kinulong tayo ng 3 months at hindi tayo pinakain. So yun yung benefit ng maintenance phase pag magta-transition tayo from cut to bulk. And last tip ko dito, like yung usual na tinatanong sa coaching call, sa Q&A, pag magta-transition tayo from cutting to bulking, always keep the mindset that you had during cutting. Kung tatanungin mo, at yung mga naka-experience na, for me, mas challenging gawin yung bulking ng maayos kaysa cutting. Sa bulking kasi madaming leeway for mistakes. At yung mga little mistakes na yun yung nagpapahirap. Kasi sila madalas yung nagsabotage ng progress natin. Pwede kang sa bulking, ito yung ano ko dyan, ito yung analogy ko dyan. Sa cutting, bawal ka kumain ng ganito. Example lang, bawal ka kumain ng cake. Sa bulking, pwede ka kumain ng cake, pero kalahati lang. So, mas mahirap, mas challenging kasi natikman mo na yung cake, tapos parang nabitin ka. Unlike sa cutting na off-limits. Pag mataas yung calories, hindi natin kakain. Okay? Gets yun? So, dito naman tayo sa kabila. Ano silbi ni maintenance phase pag nagpa-bulking tayo? So, coming from a bulk, ang benefit ni maintenance phase is yung prevention ng matinding gutom pag tumalan agad tayo sa deficit. Kasi sa bulking, sanay tayo kumain ng madami. So pag nagbawas agad tayo, pag talon agad tayo sa cutting calories, ang laki ng ibabawas natin doon sa current na kinakain natin. So mataas yung feeling na, shit, ang laki ng talon. Parang drastic yung pagbawas ko. Example, if we ended bulking at 3,000 calories, and we transitioned immediately to cutting 2,000 calories or below, medyo malaki yung jump. Kasi sanay na tayo kumain ng 3,000 calories, tapos bigla tayong kain ng 2,000 or 1,800. Kasi mag-signal yan sa brain na ang konti agad ng kinakain mo. So, papataasin niya si gutom. Whereas, if we go sa maintenance phase muna, like 2-5 muna tayo, makapag-adjust tayo and build the habit of eating less without shocking our system. Okay yun? Gets yun? So last note pala, when transitioning from bulk to cut or cut to bulk, lagi natin tandaan, don't recompute. Hindi natin kailangan mag-recompute ng calories. Always adjust from your current calorie intake. Nabanggit ko na ito sa week 2 training natin, sabi natin doon, ang computation, ginagawa lang siya initially para makuha natin yung baseline natin. After that, lahat ng adjustments, manggagaling na yan doon sa calories na nirarun natin, yung current natin. For example, if you ended your cut at 1.5 calories, then adjust from 1.5 calories. If you ended your bulk at 3,000 calories, then adjust from 3,000 calories. Instead of using online calculators, na ikaka-confuse mo lang kasi pwedeng sabihin yan, ito kainin mo, ito kainin mo. Ang gagawin natin, mag-refer na lang tayo dito sa online spreadsheet natin for our maintenance calories if we need this one. As long as you're doing WCAA correctly, and if you're logging your data as accurately and honestly as you can, itong data sa spreadsheet natin, yan yung pinaka-accurate na number na pwede natin makuha. At hindi yung mga online calculators sa different websites or even MyFitnessPal. Okay yun? Gets ba yun, girls and guys? Okay, I'll move tayo. Next question. Can you build muscle while eating at maintenance calories? Ano sagot? Can you type in the chat? Pwede ba mag-build ng muscle kung nasa maintenance calories lang tayo? And the answer for that is yes. As long as you're applying progressive overload. Gym progress ang best proxy natin for muscle growth. So yes ang sagot. Kaya lang, as we mentioned, maintenance phase, maintenance calories, it's not the optimal time to build muscle. But as we discussed earlier, dalawa lang yung optimal time or pinakamabilis na way to lose fat and build muscle. Ito yun. Bulking or cutting. Calorie deficit, calorie surplus. So yan lang. While yes, possible na mag-build tayo ng muscle sa maintenance phase, as long as may progressive overload, hindi siya yung optimal time. It's better than calorie deficit, of course, pero kung ang goal is to build the most muscle in the shortest amount of time, which yun yung dapat ang goal mo since beginner ka at nasa ugly duckling phase ka pa, wala ka pang muscle mass masyado, then why not do calorie surplus instead of maintenance? Then yung pag-accumulate ng fat, i-cut na lang natin later on. Kasi pag nag-stay tayo sa maintenance phase, since walang clear goal, it's accepting that the results will be slower. And kaya ako hinahammer yung importance of bulking and cutting is because as a beginner, we want to get results as fast as possible. So maintenance phase, may result yan, but it's not the optimal time, optimal phase for building muscle or even losing fat. At nabanggit ko ito kanina, magkakaroon lang tayo ng K, mapunta sa maintenance phase, kung may choice tayo, kung nakakuha na tayo ng enough muscle mass, at masaya na tayo, at wala na tayong desire mag-improve masyado in terms of our physique. But until then, focus tayo sa cut at sa bulk. Ang next important thing, kung nasa maintenance calories tayo, ano yung metric na gagamitin natin to track our progress every week or two? Kasi maintenance, ibig sabihin yan, maintain lang na weight. So kung hindi natin ginagamit si weighing scale to track our progress, diba, ang hirap. Makukonfuse lang tayo lalo kasi hindi natin alam, may nangyari ba sa katawan ko? May nangyari ba sa pag-build ko ng muscle, sa pag-lose ko ng fat? Mapupunta tayo dun sa hope transformation. Maayaw natin yun. And lastly, as we progress sa training age natin, darating tayo sa point na hindi na talaga tayo makabuild ng muscle without a calorie surplus, no matter how hard we try. So again, until satisfied ka na sa muscle mass mo, gawin natin bulk or cut muna. Next time na tayo mag-maintain. Okay? Now before our next question, break muna tayo. Let's have a 5-minute water and wee-wee break before the next part. And make sure to go back as is the crucial part. We'll tackle the most common mistakes people commit sa bulking and cutting that delay their progress by many years. So kung ma-avoid mo itong mga mistakes na to and you get the cycles right, baka isang pasada lang kayo ng bulk, isang pasada lang ng cut, ng dalawang yan, baka nakuha nyo na si ultimate body goal nyo. So let's pause this video and come back after 5 minutes.
Okay, mag-recess muna tayo, guys. Recess. Ilabas niyo na yung mga baon niyo.
Break mo na. Balik tayo na 12:20.
12:20. Okay. Janelle, kung na-hit mo na yung body goals mo, tapos yun na talaga yung gusto mo, okay na sa'yo, ayaw mo nang guhin, okay na, pwedeng mag-maintenance ka na nun. Forever. Ang ano lang nun is hindi mo mapapataas ng todo yung calorie intake mo. Kasi kung halimbawa, isang cut lang yung ginawa mo. So, hindi mo mapapalaki ng todo mapapalaki yung lean muscle mass mo, hindi mo siya mapapadami kung hindi ka magsa-cycle ng cut and bulk. Pero okay lang naman yun kung ganun yung gusto mo. Ang maganda kasi kapag nag-cycle tayo pag inulit natin ng ilang beses yung cycle ng cut and bulk, so mapapalaki natin yung lean muscle mass natin. And habang lumalaki yung lean muscle mass natin, syempre tumataas yung maintenance calories natin kasi madaming energy yung kakailanganin ng katawan natin para ma-maintain yung lean muscle mass. So energy is calories.
April 20 na. Game na.
Okay. Nakabalik na ba lahat? Sige, go.
Okay, everyone here? If you're already here, please type in the chat so the team knows if pwede na tayo mag-assume ulit. Type in the chat if you're already here para makapag-start na ulit tayo. Okay, game na. Let's continue sa next question natin. So next question, what are the mistakes people often make during bulk or cut? So this is important. Please pay attention. As mentioned before, pag naiwasan nyo itong mga mistakes na i-discuss natin dito, pwedeng konting cycles lang ang gawin nyo ng bulk and cut, tapos okay na. Kung may iwasan nyo to. So first is, minding what other people say. Dito ko siya sa cut nilagay kasi mas devastating to sa mga nagda-diet kaysa doon sa mga nagbo-bulk. Nabanggit ko na din to kanina, yung mga taong tumitigil sa cut nila dahil nakakatanggap sila ng negative comments. Instead of focusing sa end goal nila, yung payat, sexy, may abs, healthy, lean. Instead of those, nagpo-focus sila on what other people negatively see about them and they end up feeling bad about their dieting. Then ang mangyayari, kahit di pa sila tapos mag-cut, ang gagawin nila, magta-transition agad sila sa bulking or maintenance or i-delay nila yung pag-cut nila para bumalik ng konti yung fat sa face para ma-accept ulit sila ng mga tao around them. Then a couple of weeks later, they will be back to wanting to be lean again, to have the abs again. So magka-cut ulit sila until they get the same negative comments all over again. So the cycle will go on and on without realizing it. Ilang taon na lumipas, ilang buwan na lumipas, at wala silang nakukuha ang results. Wala silang nakukuha ang improvements. just a lot of time and effort wasted. So don't be like those people. Intindihin natin yung goal natin. Hindi nila goal. Yan goal mo. Pag nagpa-affect ka sa comments ng iba, hindi ka na matatapos sa cut mo at hindi mo ma-achieve yung goal mo dito sa fitness. May yo-yo dieting mangyayari sa inyan. And discuss natin, di ba? Yo-yo dieting means getting little to no results dahil wala kang ina-achieve sa mga phases na pinupuntahan mo. So again, if you're going to cut, if you're going to bulk, then do it all the way. Yes, you will get even skinnier dito sa cut, and you will lose a little fat sa face mo, but that's temporary. Sabi nga natin, di ba? The ugly duckling phases or entry points, temporary lang sila, and they're inevitable. Okay, guys? And we're not getting any younger, people. Focus tayo sa sarili natin, sa goals natin. It's time to be selfish. Kasi yun lang yung, pag napuntahan natin yung goals natin, pag nakuha natin yung gusto natin, doon lang tayo makakapagbigay. We can only give to others what we give to ourselves. So, then muna tayo sa comments ng iba, focus tayo sa goals natin. Okay? The next mistake people make, not committing to one goal. Yan. For both bulking and cutting. Not committing to one goal, aka yo-yo dieting. They don't want to cut all the way because they don't want to look too skinny. Or they don't want to bulk all the way because they don't want to look too fat. Or basically, they don't commit to one goal for the same exact reason. Kasi they mind what other people say about them. Therefore, yo-yo diet lang sila. Gusto kasi nila talunan si ugly duckling faces. Kung seryoso ka sa pag-create ng temple na proud ka, yung body na proud ka, what you have to do is just really commit to the process. Again, kahit nasang phase ka, just go all the way, tapusin na yun, and then transition to the next. Now, from the last training, we cannot skip the ugly duckling faces. Limiting belief, kala natin, kaya natin skip. Empowering belief, inevitable yung phases na yan, temporary and necessary. Okay, next mistake tayo. Not following through on a cut, not following through on a bulk. For most of us, especially beginners, ending a bulk or a cut the first time doesn't mean we're already done. Na-discuss na rin natin ito last training, diba? The biggest mistake people make is thinking that they can get it right the first time. Hindi pa. After natin matapos tong cut or bulk, we just won the first half of the battle. We still need to finish the other half or else our efforts will not be as fruitful kasi half pa lang yun. Right? Kasi we will be left looking too skinny kung cut or too fat kung bulk. Dahil wala pa tayong muscle mass masyado. Again, ulitin ko, walang taong isang pasada lang ng cut or bulk, sobrang dami ng muscle mass. Kasi muscle growth is a slow process. So ito yung mga examples ng kailangan mag-follow through or hindi nag-follow through sa bulk nila. Now, we have two situations. Ito yung first one. Successfully got lean, now need to follow through on a bulk. So si Kevin, MF member, skinny fat, pinili niya mag-cut as his starting goal and he did it successfully. Ganda ng cut niya, pero manipis siya kasi first cut niya. Wala pang enough muscle mass. So he should follow through on a lean bulk so he can build more. So another example, si Elben. So nag-lose siya ng almost 70 pounds. Lumabas yung abs niya, pero konti pala yung muscle mass. Pero ang ganda ng results niya. Right? So what he should do is just slowly bulk and build more muscle. Now, the mistake people make, majority of people, ang ginagawa nila, after ng cut nila, guilty rin ako dito. I'm sure marami rin dito. Ang ginagawa natin after ng cut natin, magse-celebrate tayo by binging. Magwawalwal tayo ilang weeks, ilang months. Then ang mangyari, babalik tayo dito. Pwede half man yan, babalik tayo dito. At sabi natin, tapos na ako mag-cut. Hey, na-achieve ko nito. Sige, lamon na ako. Tapos dito tayo ulit. Which then, in turn, put us in a situation na iniisip na naman natin mag-cut. So, babalik na naman tayo sa process na to. Diba? Kasi lumamon tayo, nag-binge tayo, iniisip na naman natin, okay, round 2 cut. And then yung muscle building phase, yung bulking, dinelay na naman natin. So we will go in cycles of doing mostly cutting lang and not spending enough time sa bulking, which is the optimal time to build muscle. Hence the reason why our physiques are not improving kasi puro cut tayo. So what Kevin and Elben do dito sa case nila, if they want to look good both with or without clothes, is kailangan lang nila mag-follow through on a proper bulk para makabuild sila ng mas madaming muscle. Then after ng bulk na yun, next cut nila, mas solid lalo, mas maganda dito. Then if satisfied na sila, kung iniwasan nila yung mga mistakes na discuss natin dito, yeah, choice na nila yun. Kung gusto nilang, mag-maintain na lang. Kasi probably, may K na sila. Clear yun, guys? So, ganun ginawa ni Elvin. He followed through. Ang ganda ng bulk. He gained almost 30 pounds. Tapos may abs pa rin. Amazing. And si Darwin ulit from last training, successful yung cut niya. Nag-follow through siya sa bulk. Si Coach Jane, start niya, nag-cut siya, nag-follow through siya sa bulk. Another female. So ito yung example ng skinny, out of shape, tapos eating at 1,000 calories. Ito eating 2,500 calories at nag-gain na siya ng maraming muscle mass. Mas maganda na rin yung shape niya dito. I don't know if the calories are true, pero ganito yung idea pag nag-follow through sa bulk at makapag-create ng more muscle tissue, more muscle tone, more muscle mass. I'll show you again the power of following through. And going back kay Rice sa last training. So I'm sure kayo na-feel nyo rin na ang ganda na ng base niya for him to be able to do bulking for a long time. Kasi meron tayo ng lens, ano nangyayari sa fitness. Ba yung mga outsider kasi hindi nila alam tong face na to, yung ugly duckling nga. Isipin lang nila dito, fail yung yung cutting mo, ang payat mo. Pero tayo, since alam na natin, naka-excite. Meron na siyang magandang entry point para makatagal dito. Pero kailangan niyang mag-follow through. Because most people don't. Dito naman tayo. Yun yung situation 1. Yun yung cutting na kailangan mag-bulk. Dito naman, did bulking successfully, now need to follow through on a cut. Ito yung kabilang side naman. Nag-bulk. Tapos, ano na yung next? So Rom, one of my first students, friend ko to, he did a good job during the bulking phase and gained a lot of mass. Kasama doon yung fat. So kinuha niya to ng 6 months. So what he should do is follow through on a proper cut to remove the excess fat and reveal the muscles he has built dun sa 6 months na yan. That is kung yun yung goal niya. But the mistake people do in this situation is they forget that they need to cut. Because they are already feeling okay. Lalo na with the shirt on. Kasi pag ganito na, pag lumaki ka, ang ganda ng fit ng damit eh. Diba? Ang hirap na, ayaw mo na mag-cut. Diba? Natatakot ka nang mag-cut kasi ayaw mo nang mawala yung size mo. So babalik sila dun sa mindset na ayoko lumiit, ayoko mawala ng muscle, ayoko humina, hindi na ako magka-cut at maintain na lang ako. So maintain, ibig sabihin, mag-stay sila sa maintenance. Kasi they can't bulk anymore, mataas pa yung body fat nila, and bulking would not be in their favor anymore. So pag maintain lang tayo, anong sabi natin dyan? It is accepting that your results, when it comes to muscle gain, muscle growth, will be a lot slower. Kasi walang clear goal at wala tayong weighing scale na metric. So what Rom should do here is to follow through on a proper cut, accepting na mag-shrink talaga siya ng konti dahil normal yun sa cutting. And then pag naalis niya yung excess fat, magugulat siya na mas maganda na yung katawan niya kaysa dun sa starting point niya. And then he can decide kung gusto na niya mag-maintain or umulit pa ng isang round ng bulk so he can build more muscle mass. Dito kasi stage na to, hindi pa siya makakapag-bulk kasi nga, taas yung body fat niyo. Hindi magiging motivating sa kanya. Tsaka, pag nag-bulk pa siya niyan, mag-add pa siya ng more body fat na mahihirapan na siyang mag-cut later on. Okay guys, clear yun? For ladies, applicable din to sa inyo. So, mga men lang yung pinakita ko examples. So, since na-realize nyo na, nakita nyo na kailangan talaga natin mag-follow through, ipakita ko naman sa inyo yung mga examples ng mga students sa MF na na-achieve talaga nila yung result after nila mag-follow through. Ito kasi mga examples na pinakita ko, ito lang yung mga kailangan. Diba? Ito na yung ewan ko kung nag-update sila sa group eh. Pero ito lang yung mga naalala ko kasi yung pictures nila. So yan, success story ng nag-follow through. Jomiel, nakita nyo na to last training. Bulk cut. Ito si Jay, nag-bulk muna siya, then nag-cut siya. Another female example, from 21% body fat, nag-cut siya, 16%. And lastly, si Irvin. Nag-start siya ng payat, bulk siya, nag-cut siya. So, ang layo nung starting position niya sa next cut niya. Sobrang solid nito. So, that's the importance of following through on a bulk or cut. Ni-reinforce lang natin last lesson natin. Okay guys, gets yun ha? I'm sure, ito matatapos na yung marami dito mag-cut. So my advice is, iwasan natin yung mistake na yun, yung lamon as a celebration. Yeah, you can do refeed, you can do diet breaks, pero huwag naman yung binge. Huwag naman yung binge to a point na dadaan ka na naman dun sa kakatapos mo lang na ginawa. Okay, diet break is okay. Huwag tayo mag-binge. Huwag natin sayangin yung 100 days na ginawa natin. Okay, next mistake. Yan, dito sa bulking. Bulking too fast, aka dirty bulking. This is not the optimal way to bulk. Bakit nga ulit? Can you type in the chat? Bakit nga ulit dapat mabagal lang kay bulking? And ang sagot is because muscle growth is a very slow process. Hindi tayo pwede mag-consume ng excess calories, ng pagkadami-daming calories, and expect all of them na mapunta lang sa muscle gain. Excess calories on top, doon sa kailang gamitin ng katawan natin for muscle growth, mapupunta siya sa fat gain. For example ng mabilis na bulking. Ayan, in 2 months, nag-gain siya ng 20 pounds. So that's 10 pounds a month. Like pa siya dun sa suggested natin na 1.5% to 2% per month na gain. Ito yung comment niya. Sabi niya, 130 pounds left picture and now 150 pounds. Kaya happy talaga ako. I don't know kung dahil ba ito sa muscle or baka both muscle and fat. Medyo lumaki yung tiyan ko. 2,300 calories every day. So no wonder na lalaki talaga si stomach ng mabilis kasi mabilis din yung bulking. Na konti lang napupunta yung excess calories dun sa muscle gain. The rest of that, puro fat gain na. So yun yung mistake. Yun nagmamadali tayo sa pag-bulk. Ang kinakalimutan natin that muscle growth is a very slow process at hindi siya pwedeng madaliin. So going back dito, for men, if you can only build 2 pounds of muscle per month, then what's the point of bulking too fast? Unless ang goal natin is mag-gain ng body fat. But the problems with dirty bulking or yung bulk na mabilis is this one. The first is we're just making it harder for us to cut later on. Kasi the more fat we accumulate, the more time it gives us sa cutting phase. Next one. You won't be able to maximize the building muscle phase because if you dirty bulk, after 1 to 2 months lang, cut na naman agad, iisipin natin. And as we talk about, ang ideal bulking time is 6 months or even more. What's the best way to bulk? Ito yun. Just adding around 100 calories per day. Yan yung tinatawag na lean bulking. Ang benefits yan, first, we're going to add very little fat, so it's easier to cut later on. Next, we're going to stay lean much longer. So kung nag-bulk tayo na may abs tayo, kaya natin yan i-maintain ng sobrang tagal. Months, even 1 year. Next, bulking phase will always be in our favor. Next one, we're reinforcing our good eating habits. Hindi yung binging habits natin. Hindi yung walwal habits natin. Example ng mga students na naka-execute ng lean bulking successfully. Si Eric. 4.5 kilograms in 4 months. Next, si Mako. 3 kg in 6 months. So ito, medyo conservative siya, but it's a lot better than going so fast. Kasi sa bulking, slower is better. And lastly, of course, yours truly, ito yung bulk ko nung 2020. 2 kg in 4 months. Okay, so no dirty bulking. Sayang oras doon. Next mistake tayo. Okay pa ba kayo? Buhay pa ba? Sige nga, type nga. Type, buhay pa ako. And okay. Next mistake. Ayan, bulking ulit. Worrying that they're not gaining weight after adding calories. Example. Sabi niya, bulk update, tinaasan ko na ng 2,200 calories ko from 19, pero nasa 62 kg pa rin ako. Ayaw na talaga tumaas timba ko. Kung nag-increase na raw siya ng 300, pero still not gaining weight. Ang reply ko sa kanya, be grateful, huwag mo na i-wish tumaas agad timbang mo. Remember guys, if you're not gaining weight after adding calories, then that's a very, very good news. Ayaw niyo ba yun? Marami kang food na kinakain pero di ka na dadagdagan ng timbang. Sarap noon ha. Ayun nga yung pangarap nating lahat. So why worry if you're not gaining weight? Ito yung kadalasan na blind spot ng mga nagbabulk. Masyado silang focus sa pag-add ng timbang. Which is hindi naman yun yung ultimate goal. As long as we're progressing sa mga buhat natin, sa exercise natin, sa workouts natin, at nag-a-add naman tayo ng calories pa unti-unti, we can be sure na nagbibuild tayo ng muscle. Even if the scale is not moving. And bulking slower is always better. Next mistake. So cutting tayo, too scared of losing size and strength in a cut. If you're too scared of the consequences of the cutting phase, at ayaw mo mag-cut all the way, then same lang din yun. Nasa yo-yo dieting phase ka lang. And we already discussed this earlier, na losing size during cut is normal. Dahil hindi naman tayo pure muscle, pure bone. Lahat ng body parts natin, halos lahat ng body parts natin, meron yan body fat. So pag nagka-cut tayo, mababawasan talaga ng size. So kung ganito mindset mo, then wala, basta ka sa cutting phase. Kasi hindi mo tatapos yung cut mo. And as we discussed sa week number 3 na training natin, hindi size ng body parts, luwag ng damit, hindi sila yung best gauge, best proxy ng muscle growth. But it's our gym progress. That is, yung pag-apply natin ng progressive overload. Yan yung best na magsasabi sa atin kung meron ba tayong muscle loss. So regarding strength loss naman, kaya natakot ka mag-cut, ito rin, na-discuss na natin yung acceptable and not acceptable strength loss. So remind ko rin kayo dito na ang primary goal natin sa cutting is weight loss in a form of fat at hindi gaining strength muscle. Kasi kung ito yung primary goal mo, then mag-bulk ka na lang. Hindi mo kasi pwedeng ilagay lahat to sa primary. Diba? Mamimili ka lang ano yung mas importante dyan. So sa cut, ito yun. Okay? So again, reminder, if you're going to cut all the way. Kasama dyan yung mga consequences. So focus tayo sa primary goal, ito yun. And worry about muscle and strength later on. Pero doesn't mean napabayaan sila kasi ito yung not acceptable. Okay? Pag nandito tayo, okay lang yan. Naglo-lose na 1, 2, 3 reps, even a little weight sa mga buhat natin, okay lang yan. Basta gumagalaw. Okay, next mistake tayo. Sa cut ulit. Ending a cut too soon or transitioning to bulking too soon. O bakit siya mistake? Kasi to make the most of the bulking phase, para ma-maximize natin siya, kailangan natin abutin yung leanness condition natin. Balik tayo dito. So kung pinili natin itong pangalawa, sa lalaki, kung gusto natin 11% to 17%, or sa babae, 19% to 25%, kung ayan yung pinili natin na body fat na gagalawan natin, for us to maximize both phases, kailangan natin umabot muna dito sa dulong end. Bago tayo mag-transition. Okay, gets yun guys? Kasi pag hindi natin abot tong dulo, ganito mangyari. Ayan. Nag-cut siya. Pero tinapos niya agad yung cut niya. Diba? Meron pang body fat eh. May nakukurot pa. Lumabas yung abs. Yes, nasilip niya yung abs. Pero meron pang, diba, advice natin dito lagi, cut pa yan, sagad mo na. Pero ginawa niya, nag-bulk siya agad. Kaya nangyari, ilang weeks pa lang, or nasa 1 month pa lang siya, 2 months ata, nakita niya na tumataba na daw siya agad. So iniisip niya, cut na naman. Ito yung chat niya sa akin. Sabi niya, normal lang ba itong fats? And I'm scared kasi parang unti-unti ako bumabalik sa dati kong itsura nung wala pa ako sa MF. Napupunta sa belly, side belly. And that's what will happen kung nag-bulk agad tayo na hindi pa tayo masyadong lean. Kasi isipin natin, makikita lang natin, tumataba lang tayo agad. At hindi masusulit si bulk. O bottom line nito, kung gusto natin sulitin ang bulking, kung gusto natin i-maximize ang bulking, kailangan natin mag-cut hanggang sa leanest condition na kaya natin, giving ourselves the space and time to do proper bulking for 6 months or more. Kung magbabulk tayo ng madami pang belly fat, like itong nangyari dito, bukod sa mag-worry agad tayo sa mabilis na pag-accumulate ng body fat dito sa tiyan ulit, mahihirapan tayo mag-cut later on kasi magpa-pile up lang ng mas madami pa yan. Tapos yun nga, hindi tayo mamomotivate. Tingin mo ba, itong dialogue niya dito, tingin mo ba makakatagal pa siya ng 6 months dito? Hindi na, di ba? So, i-half-ass na lang din niya yung bulk niya, and probably, ibabalik agad siya sa cutting. Okay? Clear yun, guys and girls? Next mistake tayo. Sa cutting ulit. Staying on a cut for too long, aka permacut. Na-discuss na natin ito kanina, pero attack natin in a different angle. How many people, kaya hindi na sila nagkaroon ng results masyado sa fitness, kahit masipag sila mag-workout, masipag sila mag-exercise, is because they drag their cut for too long. Kasi meron silang ganitong belief, unconsciously or not. They think they can get it right sa isang pasada lang ng cut. Akala nila, isa lang, okay na. And since, yan yung iniisip nila na isa lang, okay na, nag-chillax sila masyado. Wala silang urgency. So, ang nangyayari, hindi sila ganun ka-stick. 6 months na, 1 year na, hindi pa rin sila tapos mag-cut. Puro sila diet break, puro sila refeed, puro sila Monday na lang. Ang nasayang dito is yung time. Kasi as a beginner, na wala pang muscle mass masyado, is yung time na yun, yung mga naiipon, sana napunta na lang dun sa kabilang phase, yung bulking phase. Because that's the optimal time to build muscle. Instead na dinedelay natin yung cut, pinapahaba pa natin, in my opinion, mas okay sa akin na tapusin na agad siya, bilisan natin tapusin para dun tayo sa kabila tumambay. Kasi mas madali tumambay dun eh. Mas mataas calories dun at lahat ng benefits na pwede natin makuha sa fitness, ando dun yun sa bulking. Okay yun? So always remember this, guys. As a beginner, if meron kang choice, mamili ng tatambayan na phase, it's the bulking phase. Naandyan lahat ng gains. At mas masarap kumain na madami. But for you to do that, hindi mo agad tapusin si cut at wag mo na siya i-drag ng ilang buwan, even ilang years. Next mistake. Sa cut ulit, not having refeeds and not taking diet breaks in between to combat metabolic adaptations. So this is one of the biggest mistakes. Yung puro cut lang, puro lower lang, ang naapektuhan dito is yung metabolism natin. Nandito na susunod. Usually, ang mga hindi nakakasunod dito, yung nasa kabilang side naman, yung takot silang kumain. Takot silang mag-refeed kasi iniisip nila, baka masayang lahat na pinaghirapan ko. Na-discuss na natin yun. Nabanggit natin yun, diba? For you to accumulate, for you to create additional pound of fat, 1 pound of fat, that equals to 3,500 calories. So kung hindi ka naman kakain ng 3,500 calories na surplus, hindi ka naman magkikain agad ng body fat. So yung mga hindi nakakapag-refeed, hindi nakakapag-diet break, gusto lang nila lower ng calories, taas na activity. And sila yung mababa yung metabolism. Kasi ito, if all you do is lower your calories and not do refeeds or diet breaks, you're more prone to experiencing this. I still have a lot of body fat to lose, pero 1,000 calories na lang ako and hitting 15K steps or even more, but I'm not losing weight anymore. It's the reason why some of you here, which is very understandable kasi nasa 5-week challenge tayo, marami dito na nandito na sa range nito, 1,000 calories. Tapos bumagal na rin yung weight loss. So yun yung reason. So my advice to you as your coach, your mentor, after nitong Kaizen season, ilang weeks na lang naman, 2 weeks o 1 week, so after nitong season na to, take a diet break for 2 to 4 weeks. Diet break to eating at maintenance. Hindi to walwalan. So ang goal nito, para mapataas ulit si metabolism. So hindi mo kailangan mag-alala kasi if you're eating at maintenance calories, from the word itself, maintenance, hindi ka mag-gain ng fat. Okay, promise yourself, you will do this. Sige nga, can you type in the chat, promise mag-diet break ako after this season. Kahit yung mga hindi pa tapos mag-cut, if you've been dieting for how many months now, for weeks now, buong Kaizen, we would still suggest na mag-diet break ka kasi yun nga, kailangan natin mapataas ulit yung metabolism mo so that when you cut again next time o next season, mataas yung baseline mo. Para mag-lose ka ulit dun sa mababang calories na na-try mo sa season na to. Okay? So yan yung suggestion ko sa mga first time dito sa Kaizen. Ito yung suntin yung frequency ng diet break. So after nitong season, sabak tayo dito. But for old timers, ito yung suggested frequency ko ng diet breaks nyo. Every 6 to 7 weeks of continuous dieting, let's say nag-enroll ka ulit sa Kaizen next season, sa Hell Week, dun mo pwede ka mag-insert ng diet break dun. And 7 days of eating at maintenance. So 1 week. So every 6 to 7 weeks of continuous dieting, mag-diet break ka ng 7 days. Okay? Ayan. And ito, yung suggestion ko dito. For those people na hindi pa super adapted yung metabolism sa low calories. Kasi kung mas mababa talaga, kunwari, 900 calories na lang, pero mataas pa din si body fat, ang i-recommend namin doon, isa-suggest namin doon, is a more frequent approach dito kesa dito. So probably instead of 6 to 7 weeks, pwedeng every 4 weeks. So didiscuss ko yan sa next training. For now, ito muna yung tandaan natin. Ayan. Diet break is not an eat all you can face. The goal here is to eat at maintenance calories so you can restore the negative effects of metabolic adaptation. If you pig out during this phase, you're not only gaining excess fat, but you're also sabotaging your metabolism even more. Clear yun, ladies and gentlemen? Hindi pig out ang diet break Maintenance calories. Okay. Okay, next mistake tayo and the last one for this part. Sa bulking, prioritizing gaining weight or eating more over gaining strength consistently. Again, reminder, when we do bulking, our main goal is to build more muscle. At ang main metric natin sa pag-build ng muscle is our gym progress. The purpose of bulking is to eat a little more so that we could accelerate our gym progress and build muscle mass much faster. So read that again. The purpose of bulking is to eat a little more so that we could accelerate our gym progress and build muscle mass much faster. It's not so that we can eat more and gain more weight, giving less importance to your gym progress. So ito yung goal. Accelerate our gym progress and build muscle mass much faster. Ito yung goal, ito yung priority. Etong eat a little more, ayan yung support lang yan. Support siya para mangyari itong goal. And itong gaining more weight, yan lang yung side effect. Gets yun? So ito pakita ko para mas maintindihan nyo yung ginawa kong simple diagram. Right and wrong way to bulk based on priority. Green highlight, yan yung priority. So as you can see dito sa right way of doing bulking, ang priority is gym progress. Support as eating more calories. Yan yung calorie surplus, yung lean bulking. And side effect is yung pag-gain ng weight. Gaining weight via form of muscle mass or body fat. Yun yung side effect. On the other hand, ang ginagawa ng karamihan na nakikita kong mistake talaga during bulk is ginagawa nilang priority itong dalawa. Yung pagkain ng madami sa kapag-gain ng weight. And yung what supposedly be the priority dito sa phase na to, itong gym progress, napupunta siya sa huli. Nagiging secondary lang siya. So ang dialogue ng mga andito, yung mga gumagawa ng wrong way of bulking, sabi nila, nag-bulk ako for over a year at nag-gain ako ng XX pounds. Pero di naman lumaki muscles ko. Ano mali? So makikita nyo dito sa question na to, na ang concern niya is yung pag-gain ng weight. And walang mention of what's truly important, yung gym progress. If you're doing bulking correctly, ito yung dapat na dialogue mo. The dialogue should prioritize the thing that's most important. Sabi niya, how much strength have I gained sa mga exercises ko? Because that would determine how much muscle I have built. See the difference, guys? Girls? So sa mga bulking, may nag-resonate ba sa inyo dito? may nakuha ba kayong aha moment dito? Kasi naalala ko si Coach Bogs. Dumaan siya dito eh. And funny pa yung story niya kasi nag-bulk daw siya pero hindi siya nag-gym. Diba? Which is, may mas worse pa ba doon? So hindi ito yung priority ng bulking, okay? Ito yung gym progress. Yung pagkain na madami, pag-gain ng weight, support lang yan. Okay, guys? Clear to? Very nuanced pero I hope nakuha nyo to. So again, the purpose of bulking is to eat a little more so that you could accelerate our gym progress and build muscle mass much faster. It's not so we can eat more and gain more weight, giving less importance to our gym progress. Kasi ito yung priority, ito yung goal, ito yung support, ito side effect lang. Okay? So these are the biggest mistakes people commonly make sa bulking cutting phases nila. Since alam mo na to, mataas na yung possibility na ma-execute mo to properly. Itong dalawang phases na to. And if you do, baka isang round lang or ilang couple of rounds lang ng bulk and cut, makukuha mo na agad yung desired body goal mo. Kung madami ka kasing mistakes, lapses, wala. Abutin ka talaga ng ilang taon. Kakagaya ni Coach Joe. So kung sasaba ka lang din sa journey na to, why not do the process correctly the first time? Agree, guys? I want you to commit here to everyone, to me, that you will properly execute your bulking cutting phases so you can get to your ultimate body goal in just a few cycles. If you're game with that, type commit. Okay. Ayan. Yung mga nag-type ng commit, yan yung mga mabilis ang ano nila. Mga ilang cycles lang ang kailangan. Yung mga hindi nag-type, bahala kayo. Abutin kayo ng siyam-siyam. Okay, so hindi pa tayo tapos, may bonus info sa inyo. Final question. Na maraming interested dito. Bulking cut, how about going straight to body recomposition? Or yung tinatawag nilang recomp. Ano ba yung recomp yan? Yan yung process ng pag-build ng muscle and lose fat at the same time. Simultaneous. It's why here, pinag-combine natin sila. Bulking plus cutting. So the idea of recomp is pwedeng stay ka lang sa same weight, then nagbabago lang yung itsura ng katawan mo as you're losing fat and building muscle. Examples. Si Eric, No, pareha 63 kg pero ang layo ng itsura ng katawan nila. Coach Jake, same weight, different body composition. Another, same weight pero tingnan mo yung difference ng katawan nila. Kevin, same weight din silang parehas pero magkaiba yung katawan nila. So my question to you is, if you're skinny fat or if you're not sure if you're going to bulk or cut, the best route you can take is body recomposition. True or false? And the answer is false. While any person can aim for recomp or body recomposition, in my opinion, it is not the best route anyone can take. Kung usapang pabilisan, kung usapang pagandahan ng results, kung usapang padalian ng pagkuha ng results. Kaya so skinny fat ba yan or obese or kung anong starting position, hindi yan yung isa-suggest ko. And the reasons are, first one, aiming for a body recomposition effect is the same as staying at maintenance phase. Hindi naman kasi factor dito yung yung paggalaw ng weight natin. And when you're at maintenance phase, ano nga ibig sabihin yan? It means wala ka sa optimal phase for muscle growth or fat loss. Nasa gitna ka. So it's like pressing a pause or slow down button for both phases. The next reason, and probably the biggest one, it is very hard and frustrating to track if we're gaining muscle and losing fat at the same time. Nabanggit ko na to sa inyo, right? Dito sa Kaizen, we rely heavily sa data, sa tracking. Para walang hula-hula. Para walang hope, transformation. Para predictable ang result. So kaming mga coaches, pwede namin tignan yung spreadsheet mo, yung data mo, and tell you every single week kung nasa tamang landas ka. And yung mga coaches, mga instructors na nagpapagawa ng recomp, kaya ba nilang sabihin, oo, nasa tamang landas ka? Every week. So hindi nila kaya yun. Kasi nga, pag recomp, kung yun yung goal, ando tayo sa hope transformation. Lagi tayong may wish na sana sa second month niya, magbago ng katawan niya. Kasi hindi tinitignan yung weight eh. Walang weighing scale na metric. At dito sa Kaizen, importante sa atin yan. Importante sa atin yung data para hindi tayo nanghuhula. And one of the ways we get accurate data is via WCA checklist, then tape measure. So pag nag-goal tayo ng recomp, body recomposition, madi-disregard si weighing scale. Dahil hindi naman importante si weight eh. Yung recomp, nag-focus lang yan sa physical looks lang yan. So magiging basis natin is yung hindi na importante, which is the mirror and the photos. And as we all know by now, so week number 3 na training natin, hindi tayo pwedeng mag-rely sa photos saka sa mirror kasi malaki yung inconsistencies nila. Pwedeng one day we look good, the next day we don't. May water retention, wala yung guhit, wala yung abs, lumabo, feeling bloated, etc. etc. So kung wala tayong weighing scale na metric, at kung ang main basis natin is itong salamin o kaya yung picture, paano natin masasabi na we're moving in the right direction? Paano natin masasabi kung tama yung ginagawa natin dito sa recomp goal? So again, mapupunta tayo dito sa hope transformation. Dasal-dasal na lang. Since recomp, ang goal natin, ang mangyayari, mag-aabang lang tayo matapos yung 3 months, 6 months. Tingin tayo ng tingin ng salamin, araw-araw. Wini-wish natin na sana bukas, sana next month, iba na itsura. Same weight pa rin ako, pero gusto ko, nagbago na yung yung chest ko, yung arms ko. So, if wala tayo nakikita sa mirror, what's the next move? Since we can't rely on the weighing scale, the effect is we're just going to feel confused, frustrated, and worse. May feel natin na sayang lang yung oras natin dahil wala naman nangyayari. Now, contrast that with just choosing bulk or cut. Since main metric natin, itong WCA checklist, kasama si weighing scale dyan, then tape measure, not the mirror, every week or 2 nakikita natin yung progress natin. At alam natin with good predictability na nasa tamang landas tayo. Making sense? At kung wala tayo sa tamang landas, andali mag-adjust. Right? Kasi itong lamang nito, itong ginagawa natin, ang tinatrack kasi natin is yung lead indicators na tinatawag. Merong lead indicators, merong lag indicators. So yung lag indicator, yun na yung itsura natin, yun na yung transformation natin. So kaya siya lag indicator kasi later pa siya mangyayari. Mauuna yung lead indicators. So sa atin, kung gumagalaw si weighing scale, then itong lahat ng numbers dito, that's si tape measure, kahit wala pa nangyayari sa itsura natin, sa lag indicator, sure tayo na susunod yun. Diba? May delay lang siya. So ang kukontrolin natin yung route. Gets yun, guys? So that's the second and biggest reason why body recomposition is not the ideal route for anyone. Third reason, body recomposition is a very slow process and it is not guaranteed. It doesn't happen all the time and it doesn't happen to everyone. Some people can have it, some can't. And again ako, at sa lahat ng tuturuan ko ng students, I will never rely on chance. Hindi pwede yung hope transformation. Hindi pwedeng dasal-dasal lang. So bakit hindi guaranteed si body recomposition? Balik tayo dito. It's because if you're not in the optimal phases, kung bulking or cutting, then that means nasa gitna ka. And you're not maximizing either. And for many people, especially habang patagal na patagal sa fitness journey natin, yung necessity ng katawan to be in a calorie surplus, to build muscle, pataas na pataas din. So lahat tayo, now or later, dadating tayo sa point na for us to build new muscle tissue, to produce muscle growth, kailangan natin ng calorie surplus. Ibig sabihin, kailangan natin naman sa bulking phase o yung pagkain ng above maintenance just to have muscle growth. Dadating tayo sa point na hindi na tayo magiging ng muscle sa maintenance phase. Yes, as a beginner, may experience natin yung pag-build ng muscle kahit pa nasa cut tayo. Pero hanggang kailan yun? Hindi natin alam. Walang may alam. Okay? Okay yun? Again, dadating tayo sa point na, di ba? As we continue our journey, nagiging tayo na experience eh. Nag-a-adapt si katawan sa buhat-buhat na yan. Eventually, the gains will stop and the only way we can produce more is by going here. So kaya nabanggit natin yung body recomposition is not guaranteed kasi if we stay at maintenance calories at andun na tayo sa point na hindi na tayo mag-build ng muscle without a calorie surplus, then paano natin ma-achieve si body recomposition? Kung hindi tayo pinagpala, wala, hindi yun mangyayari. We will just be wasting time and effort waiting for the recomp effect to happen. In short, nagre-rely tayo sa chance. Which is hindi okay. So what we should do instead, kung cutting tayo, is i-treat lang natin yung recomp as a bonus effect instead of making it a goal. Ulitin natin let's just treat body recomposition as a side effect, as a bonus side effect, instead of making it as a goal. Goal natin is to cut, to lose weight. So magre-rely tayo sa weighing scale and not the mirror. Then kung magkaroon ng body recomposition effect, kung build tayo ng muscle while losing fat, then that's great news. Bonus na lang siya. Ang problem kasi if we make recomp a goal and we don't achieve it, mafo-frustrate tayo. Pero kung hindi natin ginawang goal sa recomp at nag-focus lang tayo sa either bulk or cut, tapos nangyari siya, then nasaya, di ba? Kasi bonus lang siya. And even if hindi siya mangyari, okay lang din. Kasi na-fulfill natin yung goal natin na bulk or cut, yung pagtaas ng weight, pagbaba ng weight. Gets ba yun, guys? Sabay tayo sa examples kanina. So, si Eric, paano niya na-achieve to? Same weight lang siya, pero magkaiba yung katawan nila. So, paano? Hindi siya nag-recomp, but he did the cut first, then nag-bulk siya. Kelvin, paano niya na-achieve yan? Hindi siya nag-recomp, instead, nag-cut muna siya, then nag-bulk. Ayun yung progress photos niya. Ang ganda oh. Ito yung same weight, but different itsura. Kasi dumaan muna siya sa cut, then nag-slowly bulk siya. Kevin, same. Hindi siya nag-recomp, at nag-cut muna siya, then nag-bulk. Hindi niya pinagsabay yung pag-build ng muscle sa pag-lose ng fat. How do you think they would have gotten to the other side if they aimed for a recomp? I would say no. Kasi if you're in this position, yung left nila, then every week mo na lang, then ginawa mong goal yung recomp, then every week, wini-wish mo na lang na sana nag-lose ka ng fat, saka nag-gain ka ng muscle ng sabay. Then wala kang kasing proof, di ba? Wala kang weighing scale kasi hindi naman yung importante. Then that would be very difficult for sustaining your drive to continue. Alam niyo yung feeling ng doubt, di ba? Yung nagsa-second guess kayo sa actions nyo? Masarap ba sa feeling yun? Hindi. And probably, kung recomp ang ginawa nila after 3 to 4 months, baka nandito pa rin sila. Wala dito. Because wala sila sa optimal time, optimal phase for either fat loss or muscle building. So malamang stuck pa rin sila dito. So last example to drive the point home. So ito yung 5-month cut ko back in 2019. Did I achieve a recomp or not? Did I gain muscle, lose fat at the same time? I did not know and I did not care. The important thing was that I achieved my goal of losing weight, of cutting. Kasi yun yung primary goal ng cutting. Secondary lang si muscles at strength gain. So why would I bother with the recomp? Clear, guys? So my advice, kung cut, focus lang tayo sa cut. Kung bulk, focus sa bulk. Then continue using our simplest yet proven tools to measure your progress so you don't second guess yourselves sa pag-adjust. Ang sagot dito, don't. Unless gusto mo, mabagal yung results mo, saka maparaning-paraning ka. Okay, tapos na tayo. Ito yung summary. I know this is a long training and I would not expect you to absorb them all. Ang pinaka-ma-absorb mo dito right now is yung nasa RAS mo. Kung ano yung importante sa'yo. If you're cutting, your brain focuses sa cutting lessons, sa cutting ideas. Kung bulking, doon ka rin nakafocus. You will hear that often sa Kaizen alumni. The reason why people enroll again is because, again, you cannot get it right the first time. Even sa lessons and trainings, applicable yan. Maririnig mo yung sasabihin ng mga alumni dito na hindi ko yung narinig dati, hindi ko yung nag-gets dati. Pero ngayon, since andito na ako sa season ko ng ganito, yun na yung na-absorb ko. Now, there's so much to absorb here. Itong lesson lang na to. And even more sa buong Kaizen lessons. That a single season is not enough. So I would suggest, panoorin yung mga replays ng lessons. And better yet, of course, you enroll again, so you go another round, iba naman yung goal mo. Okay? So dito sa lesson na to, kung may tatandaan kayong mga super important points, ito lang yun. Naglagay ako ng 10 items dito. O mindset, the fastest way to achieving your dream body is accepting that the process is slow. Strategy, the fastest way to achieving your dream body, strategy-wise, is to do proper bulking and cutting and not maintenance or body recomposition. Next, the biggest mistake you can make is thinking that you will get it right the first round of cut or bulk. So wrong, you have to do cycles of both and play the long game. What you should do is decide if you're going to bulk or cut, then do it all the way. And pag natapos mo yun, that's only half of the battle. Kailangan ng follow-through. Preferably, cut until 10 to 12% for men and 18 to 20% for women, then bulk for 4 to 6 months or more until you've added 6% of body fat. Then repeat the cycle. Since you don't have enough muscle mass yet, nasa ugly ducking phase ka pa, wala ka pang K sa maintenance phase. Kaya always follow through on a cut or bulk. Always aiming to beat your previous condition. Next one, accept that you will lose size and strength and get negative comments during your cut. And it's okay. And accept that you will gain fat during bulk. The ugly duckling phases are inevitable. Finish your cut as soon as possible and get it over with. And stay sa bulking phase for as long as possible. Sa bulking tayo tumambay and not the other way around. Don't bulk too fast and too soon. And don't cut for too long. And lastly, never make body recomposition a goal. Treat it only as a bonus side effect. So I know madami pang importante dyan pero siniksik ko lahat sa 10 items yan para iwas, bawas, overwhelm. Pag kailangan, panoorin lang yung replay. Crucial tong bulking cutting phases natin at I would suggest, aralin natin siya so we can execute both properly the first time we do it. That way, mas mabilis tayo makapunta dun sa more muscle mass stage, yung lagpas na ugly duckling phase at pagdating natin doon, masarap na yung buhay natin. Kasi pwede na tayo mag-maintain. Pwede na tayong kumain ng mataas na calories while maintaining yung magandang katawan. Okay, our final thoughts and reminders. Our 5-week challenge is officially ending today. Congrats to everyone who gave their best. So the team will post the results sa group natin at kukontakin kayo for your prizes. So ito lang ulit, paalala lang sa prizes. And again, congrats sa lahat. Hindi lang sa mga nanalo, but to all those who joined and made the effort. Pat yourself on the back. Celebrate that you made it this far. Kasi I know a lot of you, first time nyo lang makatapos ng ganitong challenge, first time nyo lang maging consistent sa buong buhay nyo. So celebrate and alam nyo, bask in the feeling of pride. Ginagawa ko yan lagi pag may achievements ako. Next one, 10 days left before the 100-day challenge ends. So mag-adjust tayo and push to your limits. That's how you will break through. Since we've learned that we can get our dream body the first round of bulk or cut, it is a good idea to plan our bulking cutting cycles for the year and even the next year based on the lessons discussed. Planning saves hundreds of hours. Reminding you that you're not just transforming yourself for yourself. Your transformation can potentially impact lots of lives. Remember the 100 days to 100K movement. Yung transformations nyo, makikita yan ng ibang tao. Pinost mo story, social media, and you will be the one installing the belief in them na kaya rin nila. Next week 4 action items are already posted in the private group. Do your weekly review tonight and crush the next 10 days. Bonus preview, week 15 yung final training natin, will guarantee that you will never want to binge eat again. So don't miss this. Hindi ka na talaga magpapabaya at mamahalin mo na talaga yung fitness for life. At matututunan mo rin paano kumain ng sobrang daming calories na hindi nagkakain ng weight. So wag nyong i-miss to. Last training na rin naman yan. Final 10 days, adjust and push to your limits.